While the entire market is down, WolfSpeed is up about 25% today. It's on an absolute tear. And you remember I bought you this stock about 13 days ago when I was only trading at $1.30. So if you took advantage of that, you'd be up like, let's see how much you would be up. You'd be up almost 130% as of today. But I'm making this video because I want to give you guys an update. It doesn't just keep going up in a straight line. It will trade back down eventually, and I want to show you guys how to trade it going forward. Again, nothing is financial advice. Do your own research. I'm just giving you the tools and the information to come up with your own strategy. And I see a few comments asking me like, oh, like, should I buy here? Like, that's kind of annoying to me because I'm obviously not going to tell you, yeah, buy now, sell now. That makes no sense. Like, I'm not your financial advisor. The reason I make these videos is to educate you. You have the education and then come up with your own strategy. So far, I've been nice. I do respond without actually telling you yes or no. I might start like blocking people that ask me questions like, oh, should I buy now? Should I sell now? Like, what should I do? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your own money. This is you. I'm making these videos. You have the information and you either learn from the information and come up with your own strategy or like go watch someone else. But please stop asking me if you should buy or sell now. Like that's really annoying to me because I tell you in every video, when I said this is not financial advice or trading advice, it's not like a saying. I mean it. It's not. This is just for education purpose only. And I bring you stocks when they're undervalued, as you see by my track record, but you still have to like come up with your own strategy, have your own stop loss. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video, like how to come up with your own exit strategy and what I think the price can trade up to. But again, it's not perfect science. Just because I say like it'll trade up to this price point doesn't mean it will happen like exactly. Again, that was just the PSA. Use this information as education and come up with your own strategy and stop asking me in the comment section when to buy or sell. That's not what we do on this channel. Also, we have a new subreddit. You can go join it. It's called Beating Wall Street. Here, I can interact with you guys more freely. I still want you guys to leave a comment in the YouTube videos, but if you go join this subreddit and give me stock ideas, I can just have more of an open discussions. It's kind of a fun environment. You can post memes. You can post your gains and loss. I want to see that. I want to see like your gains, if you have losses, whatever. I want to see your trades. So go post those screenshots, go post memes, go post new stocks you come across and any DD that you want to share with us. So go join this subreddit and I'll interact with you guys there. Going back to what we're seeing on the technical analysis. So if you watch my videos, I tell you almost every time, once it crosses this 50-day moving average on the daily chart and there's this gap between the 50 and 200, the next thing it tries to do always is touch this 200-day moving average. So, but again, we have to take it on a percentage basis. If I show you 100 charts where it breaks the 50-day moving average, 90 of those will trade up to the 200-day moving average. So it's not 100%, but it is well over 90%. And I can show examples of that. So that's what we can expect to see next, but it's not going to happen in a straight line in the next 3 days, in the next week, and just touch it. So the way to be conservative with this trade, again, it's not as undervalued as when I first brought you this stock like 13 days ago when I was at $1.30. That's when I was very undervalued. So it's not as undervalued as it was back then. But if it does go up to this 200-day moving average, we still have a solid 40% gain that we can take advantage of. So at this point, the way I would trade it is that first I look at the 45-minute chart. So you might not have the super trend indicators turned on. I pay for this super trend. It's like, additional indicator that I can get based on my plan. So you can see like they print clear buy and sell signals and they are helpful, but they're not as good as the moving averages. If you see the price start to trade down and it goes below this 50-day moving average on the 45-minute chart, then that's a clear sign. Okay, the rally is over, the euphoria is over. But what we can expect to see, let's go back to the daily chart. As we established that we expect the price to go up to this 200-day moving average. So let's draw a line there and then let's go back to the 45-minute chart and see what we can expect. So again, what we can expect to see, like even if it does a wave, we can expect the price to like keep going up and this 50-day moving average line, it's going to keep trending up and up and up. So, but even if it doesn't touch this line exactly and you see the price start to like trade down and go below this 50-day moving average, that's kind of when you know that the rally is over. And then on top of that, if it prints a sell signal, so that's like a second clarification that the rally is over. And if you want to be even more conservative, you go to the 15-minute chart. And if you see something like this, like for example, like here, I guess, yeah, huge gap up. And remember what I tell you, the chart always tries to fill the gap. It didn't fill it exactly, but it filled it like about say 90%. But here you see on the 50-minute chart, it went below the 50-day moving average. And so like right around here, like where I have the cursor, like Wednesday would be, if you're already in profit, if you're in profit, that would be a good place to like take profit. And then if you want to get back in, like when it prints this buy signal, when it goes above this 50-day moving average again. And so same thing here. First of all, you should have a stop loss. If you're coming across this video now and you are thinking of getting in, again, I have to say it over and over again, not trading or financial advice. And please stop asking me in the comments. It's getting really, really annoying. Like, should I buy? Like, when I'm not gonna tell. Like, it's almost like if you have to ask me, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be watching you shouldn't be watching any videos. If you have to go in the comment section and ask, like, oh, should I buy now? Like that, it's when I see that, I almost think you guys are like retarded or something. Stop asking like if you should buy now or sell now. Okay, just take the education, go watch other people's video and see what they're saying, and gather all the information. Again, the main thing I do on this channel is I bring you the stocks when it's undervalued. This is just an additional to like help you out, like give you the education of how to trade, but you have to come up with your own strategy. So again, have a stop loss. And if next day you see the price is coming back down and it's going below this 50-day moving average, then wait to like get back in. It's kind of at this point, the euphoria could keep going up. And if it just keeps rallying up, then yeah, it's going to go up to this $4 mark. But if it doesn't, if you see the price starts to come back down, then wait until it touches this 50-day moving average on the 15-minute chart. And if it touches this red line and it starts to bounce right back off, then that's a good entry point. Again, you can also just have a stop loss. Like you could have like a 10% stop loss. Oh, the chart looks pretty great. It's again, not as undervalued as when I first brought you guys this stock, but it's going to, before it starts to trade back down for like say next couple of weeks, it will try to like touch this 200-day moving average. And the reason why we're having this massive rally, again, I told you, I noticed that like when I first made this video like 13 days ago, the first thing I said is that I had the stock on my radar for like almost a month. But I made that video at that point because I was noticing like some weird activities that could result in a potential rally, which like I think maybe, so I think like a couple of days after I posted this video is when it had its first massive jump in price. So the reason why the stock is moving up so rapidly is because if we take a look at the short float information that I'm highlighting right here, you see it's 28%, which is incredibly, incredibly high. So the short sellers are feeling the pain. They're covering the positions. So we're kind of watching a mini short squeeze happen. And so if it starts to get more violent, definitely go up above the 200-day moving average. But again, we have to take it one day at a time. But that's the reason. So the first catalyst was this news that came out, which I'll show you right here. So they had some restructuring, which was the first catalyst. And I think this caused this jump in price. And then the short sellers had to start coming in and start covering their position. And again, whenever I bring you undervalued stocks, one of the things I look for is that does it have a high short float? The ideal scenario is that a high short float and a high short ratio, like if the short ratio was like 2 or 3, that would be like fantastic. But the short ratio is kind of low, which just means like it wouldn't take that long for the short sellers to like cover their short position. So if the short ratio is high, then the short squeeze lasts longer. But if the short ratio is low, which it is, then the short squeeze, if we do see a violent short squeeze, like if we see like let's say like a 50% jump in price in one day, it will only last one day. It won't last like a couple of days. It will just last one day. The short sellers will cover their positions and then the price will start to like come back down. But again, there's a great short squeeze potential. I don't know how high the short squeeze can potentially go, but there is definitely a short squeeze potential. And another thing I'm noticing on this chart, I told you, like charts hate gaps. It will fill any gap up or gap down eventually. And as you can see right now, it just like as of today, it filled this gap right here. So you see where I have my cursor, there was a huge gap down and it's filling this gap right now. But there's another gap right here, gap down on March 27th. So if it fills that gap, then we can see the price go up to $5.36. But again, that's less likely. That will take longer than the first thing that we were going to see, is that it comes up to this 200 moving average. So keep an eye out for that. And that would be when it touches this 200-day moving average, that would be a good place to like lock in some profit and wait for this. That would be a good place to lock in some profit and wait to see when you can get back in. So again, I want to bring you this update. This is how I would trade it. Again, if you want to be conservative, look at the 15-minute chart. And if you're already in profit and you're wondering, okay, like when should I lock in some profit? Lock it in. If the price starts to like touch this 50-day moving average and trade below it, lock in profit. And then if you're wondering when to get in, so you can get in whenever, but if you get in now, have a stop loss. But if you want to wait and see if the price comes down and touches this 50-day moving average, wait for that and wait for a bounce off to like get back in. So this is how to play it at this point. Again, it's not as undervalued as when I first brought you the stock, but again, I think there's still a lot of room left for potential gain. So that's how you should play this stock. And if you like this information, please do me a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, turn on your post notification, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.